I've been putting in work, and I've been working on the ribbing of my sweater. I think the last time we checked in, I had just started. I have the whole front half done, and I'm about halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through the back half. It's crazy that I've done all of this today. I still have been working on my stockinette swatch. I have another hole. I don't know what happened. I think I might have twisted my stitch, and it's the same thing that happened at the very bottom. But besides that, I would say we're looking pretty decent. I think this is 40 stitches by a decent amount of rows. It could be 45, 40 by now, but it's obviously unblocked, but not mad at it, honestly. Still working on my little ball. I'm maybe about halfway through it, a little more, but putting my work in. My goal is, oh, I did also seam one side, so not bad. Don't know. Oh, I also did the collar. I don't know if I brought that up. I did single crochet around the collar. Don't know what I'm doing for the sleeves yet. The sleeve holes still very much so do exist. But I think I'm gonna finish up this ribbing and then keep working on my stockinette. I have this one crochet sweater that I did, I think, the bottom body ribbing, and I did 2 front panels and 1 back panel, and that's it. I think since I really like that yarn, it'd be nice if that was my first knitting project to do in stockinette, because it's dark yarn and I don't think that you'd be able to see if I messed up. So we'll see how we're feeling today, if I feel like casting it on or not. I think I'm going to finish this and then see where I'm at, see how I'm feeling. I guess I'm not so much as worried about the sleeves at this point in time. Okay, so I finished the ribbing and I seamed both of the sides, and I'm like, let's do a little try on to see how we are fitting. I love this yarn. It is so soft, but my God, does it shed on literally everything. Oh my God, it's such a tent. I did not think it was gonna be that tenty. I just thought it was gonna be a little longer. It looks so crazy with what I have on right now. I think it needs sleeves. Yeah. This is just, I think it needs a good block. I don't know if I like it, which is sad because it's supposed to be so cute. I think the ribbing is throwing me off because this is so nicely like spread out, and this is like so chunked. Like this just looks so much brighter. I also used 2 separate balls. The ribbing part ended up being 91 grams, so I don't think that's that bad. But my God, is the color difference crazy. Ugh. It's giving like Princess Tutu in like a bad way. Ugh. But I have to see it through. I have to see it through to the end. I think I'm gonna do some garter stitch sleeves and then see how we're feeling, because this is not it, and I hate it for me. I do. It's just, before the ribbing it was so good, but every part of me is like, leave the ribbing, because I worked so hard on it. I might have to rip the ribbing back. And that, do you know what sucks about that? I just finished tying all the ends in and cutting the yarn. This is why you shouldn't do that. Take it from me. I'm so cooked. Ugh. Cooked. Hi, welcome back. So, I'm working on my other knit sweater that bothers me to the fiber of my very being. So we're gonna put that down for a while, right? I've been working on my stockinette. If I can grab it underneath all my snacks. And, oh, that's the backside. Working on my stockinette. Don't think it's that bad, right? So I'm like, I feel like I'm ready to move on to an actual project. So I have this sweater that I crocheted. It is basically like a V-neck sweater. And I can't remember what size needles I used. But I think a 5.5. And I used moss stitch. I have buttons on it and everything. But the thing is, I could never get the sleeves right. I don't know if it's the way I did the holes or just what the energy is. But the sleeves, I could just never get right. So I figured, what could I do instead? I'm going to see if I can knit it up in stockinette. Because I have nothing better to do. On, what is it? On Wool & Company's website, because this is Hedgehog Fibers Merino Aran, it says 4 to 5 stitches per 1 inch on 5.5 to 5.5 millimeter needles. So if I use 6 millimeter needles, 5 times 4 is 20. So hopefully 20 stitches should get me 4 inches. So that's what I'm going to start with. And I have this little ball to do my swatch. So I'm going to get started on my swatch and see where I go from there. Okay, so I'm laying in bed. I just finished my gauge swatch. Yes, I know it looks big. I did 20 stitches and it ended up being 4.5 inches. So I just went with 4.5 inches of length also. So this is what we're looking like. I am going to block this tonight so that hopefully it will be dry by tomorrow, and then I'll have a more accurate gauge of how many stitches I'm gonna knit around for my sweater. So I think this is very cute. It looks so much different from when I crocheted it. So I'm excited to see how my sweater turns out. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I did my swatch, which my 20 stitches ended up being 4.5 inches. So let's see what we're working with now. We're almost at 5. Almost. We're at like 4 3/4. So, but the length is still, oh, it shrank a little bit on length. That's interesting. I basically just wet it and then I wringed out the water. The width grew, or maybe the width was always like that, but the length is still 4.5. So not bad. This is what we're looking like. I'm not mad at it. It looks so different knit than it does in this moss stitch. But this is the sweater that I'm taking apart. No, I did not realize that I had this much of it done. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Taking this apart so that I can knit with it. And I feel like the only sad part about this is I thought those buttons matched so well. Looking at them now, I'm like, absolutely not. Black would have been a superior choice. Oh, this is a different button than the one I cut off. No wonder the strings are so very much attached. Am I looking forward to winding this? No, I want to be lazy. I just did a bunch of cleaning. It's either this or I start making another mushroom guy, because my nieces and nephews don't really ask me for things. But I was talking with my mom and my niece was there and she was like, "Can you make me one?" And I was like, of course I can. Why would I not make you one? My sister also said that she wanted one, but I told her, I'm like, if you pay for the yarn, I'll make it and I'll ship it, which I feel like is a very fair ask. But since my niece asked for one, I'm gonna just use the yarn that I already have. Because one, she's 5, so I don't think she's gonna care very much. And 2, it will get this yarn out of my stash so that I don't have to deal with it. Okay, buttons gone. Now I have to remove these 50 million thousand stitch markers, and I don't know why I use that many. It seems very, very unnecessary. Tomorrow is June 1st. And I know that you guys will not be seeing this for like at least 2 months. So that's a little disheartening. But I'm just so far ahead in my schedule that I'm like, why not? I think maybe I will ball this up, get started, and then work on the mushroom guy. So that I can get that done and get that yarn gone. I've recently been working on my yarn destashing. That's been like my #1 thing that I've been concentrating on doing. Why are there so many stitch markers? This is insane. This is actually insane. But no. I'm going to start working on this and I'm going to get it all taken apart. And then I'll see you when I start mapping out my sweater. So. Okay, so I just got done winding my yarn and I'm trying to pick out what needles I want to use. I don't know if I want to use the 22-inch cord or the 14-inch cord. This seems short, but like when I was doing the 95 stitches on my other sweater, I think I was using, maybe I was using the 6mm needles. This was like almost too long. And that, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with the 22s. And if it's a little bit too long, oh well, I'll live. But no, I got a decent bit of yarn albeit it is in several balls because I cut the yarn so much like a crazy person. So there's a bunch of different like pieces. Now that I think about it, I also need to get out my needle stoppers, but I have this decent sized ball, which was the biggest one. And then I have all of these, which I think this is like 3 balls. I think maybe 4, everything is 4. I don't know. I'm not gonna weigh it. It's not that serious, but I need to, what is it? Where's my calculator? Measure myself, because I feel like if I make this skin tight, it'll still have drape, and then I'll also need to do a button band, so I'm fine. Let me go around my bust, because that's my biggest part. 40 inches. I think 40 inches should be fine. So this is almost 5 inches. The little bit of stretching, it's 5 inches. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. 8 times 20 is 160. That sounds like a lot. That seems like a lot. I guess. I mean, it is the whole body around. So I guess it's not that crazy. It just seems like a lot. It really does. Because, let me scoot you guys over here. Because if I think about my last sweater, right, I'm 99.9% sure that I did this in 6mm. So if I put this on, and then I pinch this, this seems like a lot. Because how many stitches is this? It's 190. I don't think that this is equivalent to like 30 stitches. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. I think it's also blocked. So 160 still sounds like a lot. It sounds like so many. It just doesn't sound right, in my opinion. Okay. It's almost 5. And I know for a fact that this is 20 stitches. I guess I'll start with 160. And then if it's too big, I'll start over. Because, I don't know, the struggle is real. Like, what am I really gonna do? Or, because I did 5, let's go. Oh, I need 40 inches. So divide that by 4. That's 10. The math is not right on that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to start with 160 and do a long tail cast on, which I feel like I have to pull this tail so long for that, because 160 stitches is a lot of yarn. It's a pretty long tail. That's so many. I just want to be lazy. But I'm gonna get started. So yeah, let's just say this project is on hold for the foreseeable future. Do I know when I'm gonna work on it again? No, I do not. But I ripped all my stitches back and then I did half the amount, and I've done like what, 2 rows? So that's just where I'm gonna leave it. I don't know. I just haven't had the energy to work on it. I started this one crochet project, and then I have another crochet project that I'm going to work on. So I think I'm going to find, I don't know, something else to knit, or I'm going to work on my stockinette. I'm not sure, but I'm not stressing about it. Let's be real. But thank you for coming on this journey with me. It's been a wild one, a long one. So I'll see y'all.